all going through now. We don't have a name for, you know, I'm now 68, or I'm 72, or I'm 83, and we're living longer, and there's no name for that because it isn't old. You know, old is when you're like, okay, you know.
The new ball busters.
Oh, okay. That's the first thing I just heard. The new ball busters. That's very good. Yeah, I heard another one the other day, you know, which was very, very. I thought was lovely. This gentleman said that his mother-in-law came up with, I'm on my second to the last dog. And then Ellen Goodman, the writer, who's apparently who knows this person that was telling me this, said, I'm on my second to the last refrigerator. So we all have ways of measuring, you know, how long things are going to be and what our expectations are. And, you know, who's having that conversation if not AARP? So I'm really all about AARP. I'm not about, you know, any of the parties or any of that. That's let them deal with that, and let's get out from under all that stuff and let's do what's needed. Our idea here for our conversation is to make sure we bring forth solutions. And we don't want it as part of as Tammy said earlier, the deficit was not created by Social Security. We don't want it paid for by Social Security. So I did hear somebody say to me the other day, well, why is AARP opposed to talking about Social Security and making changes? You know, it can't sustain itself. I said, we're not opposed to talking about anything. And it's certainly not about making sure that if we have to make adjustments, we make them. But we're not going to do it as part of paying off a bill that we didn't collect. You go figure out another way to pay that bill. In the same way that we stood up to Pepco and Delmarva and BG&E and said, you know, smart meters are a good thing to have. They may be, they may not be, I don't know. You want them, you utilities. You said you want, not doing anything for anybody that I know of. It's just a meter. It just measures. It doesn't save anybody anything. So why am I paying for it? And then I don't even own it. It'd be one thing if I'm paying for a meter, and okay, well, you got a meter, we're making you buy it, you bought it. I don't even own it. You own it. And what are you going to do with the old meter? They get to sell that and keep the money from that too. And during the hearings that we had about the smart meters, by the way, one of the things that they said was because of those new smart meters, they're going to need a new billing system. So the chairman, the good chairman that we no longer have, the chairman of the Public Service Commission asked the question of the utility and said, well, is that in your $800 million budget here for new smart meters? Did you put that in there? No, we're going to ask for a separate increase for that. So you want new meters, and then you're going to have a need for a new billing system, and then your new billing system, you're going to ask for a rate increase to pay for the billing. What kind of business is that? I should get into it. That's all I can tell you. I mean, really, if everybody else has to pay my costs, and my operating expenses, and my maintenance, and everybody else is paying for it, why shouldn't you get it? When you walked in here, did they say, I'll tell you what, you want to have a pancake? You know, you got to pay for the oven. And then I'll charge you extra for the silverware. And oh, did you want it on a plate or you want it in your hands? It's fine with me any way you want to do it. They don't do that. You got to have some upfront costs if you're going into business, and you got to maintain your business. And that's not the way the utilities are used to doing it. Yeah. All right. Well,